Hello everyone, welcome to another video. It's time for round 7 of the FIA Manufacturers Exhibition Season 2020, and we are going to Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona in Group 3 cars for 14 laps of this circuit. Tyre wear at times 12, fuel consumption at times 2. We have the choice of racing soft, medium and hard, with a tyre requirement that we must run the hard tyre at some point in the race. So, strategy certainly going to play a factor in this one by the looks of it. So, taking a quick look at the leaderboard times, we can see that the leaderboard is dominated by the MR cars. So, with that in mind, we have decided that we will do our testing in the McLaren 650S GT3 car. Now I am well aware that just because the cars are dominating the time trial leaderboards does not mean they will be the best cars come race day. But I wanted to sort of build up my experience driving MR cars, so that's why we've chose the 650S for this one. Now we've got pretty high tyre wear at times 12, and we've got a twisty circuit. So it was fairly obvious from my testing run, not that I've got any footage of that here, but that tyre wear was going to be a big factor. So our testing run revealed to us that the soft tyres, when initially used, were only good for about 3 or 4 laps. Degradation very high, losing around about a second a lap after your first flying lap. We learned that fuel was not an issue. Loads and loads of fuel, at times too. I didn't expect it to be a factor, but we confirmed that via testing, so no fuel saving to worry about in this one. Just the tyres, but you really are going to have to start managing the tyres from the get-go, especially the soft tyres when you've got the car full or with fuel. They really do wear out very quickly on the MR cars, and we'll take a look at the FR cars a little bit later on in the video. So that's our opening lap complete. We jump forward to the end of lap 4, and we're going to come in for a pit stop, and we're going to put on a new set of soft tyres. We're doing a 2-stop run here. So we're going to go soft, and then run the hards at the end. Obviously the hards being the required tyre. Now the pit loss, an in-race pit loss is 8.1 seconds. I've come up with a new way of measuring the pit loss, and I think I've managed to get it quite accurate. So I'm quite confident of that figure of 8.1 seconds for pit loss in race conditions. So we jumped forward quite considerably on this 2-stop run we've just changed onto the hard tyre. We're on our out lap here. Now we made a complete mess of the second stint on the softs. If you look at laps 6 and 8, we've probably lost about 2 seconds on lap 6 and at least a second, probably a little bit more on lap 8. Now, I was having a few troubles with getting the footage recorded, so I had to redo this run. I'd already done a really good 2-stop run that I was quite happy with, but for some reason never had the footage, so I had to go in and do it again, and I was tired at this point. Concentration was going, and so we lost at least 3 seconds in that middle stint, but we'll take all that into account when we start looking at sort of finishing times, comparing the different strategies. Now, bearing that in mind, and I was quite annoyed with myself with the lap times and that, the mistakes in that middle sector. We went into full concentration mode and tried to do a good job on this last stint in the hard tyres, and this was quite a solid stint, to be honest with you. So a little bit of time probably made up in that respect. So we managed to do 5 laps on the second stint on the softs, car a little bit lighter, so we managed to eke out an extra lap on them, and that left us with 5 laps to do on the hard tyres. And the hard tyres are considerably slower than the soft tyres, as to be expected, but even at the end of the race, if the car a little bit lighter, you're still struggling to get within 2 seconds of a good soft lap. But we finished there lap 14, which is the end of the run. Yeah, and if we take all the mistakes into account, the finishing time for that one coming in at about 25 minutes and 14 seconds. So moving on, we are going to try and see if we can do a one stop with the McLaren, which didn't really seem feasible from what we'd learned up till this point. Now, there's no way I thought I'd be able to get 7 laps out the soft tyres at the beginning of the run when the car was heavy in fuel, so we are starting on the hard tyres. We'll see how these manage to hold up. So we skip forward to the start of lap 5. Lap times in the high 47s, low 48s. In comparison, our first flying lap with the soft tyres was a 45.3, I believe. So as I said, a massive difference in lap time of about 2.5 seconds initially between the soft and the hards. So we come to the sort of midpoint of the one-stop run. We've managed to get to the halfway mark, and we'll see if we can come in for a pit stop, put on a set of soft tyres and see if we can try and eke 7 laps out of them. Now ignore the sort of the pit stop animation for this. It's been done in a lobby in practice conditions. The times here coming up at 4.5 seconds and 13.9 for the pit time. It's actually 17.9 in race for an actual pit lane loss. But we've already discussed how many seconds you'll lose doing that. It's 8.1 seconds you'll lose in the pits. So on to the soft tyres for this one-stop run. And this was always going to be a bit of an ask to get 7 laps out of the soft tyres. So if we look at the tyre wear in the bottom left hand corner, you can see a lot of red there. Lap times dying by about a second each lap now. We're into the 48s, we're actually 3 seconds down on our best lap. The car absolutely a handful to drive. The rear step out at every corner, we've got no grip on the front, and it all culminates in something like this happening. You know, a very, very slow speed, stupid looking spin, and the conclusion of this, and the only conclusion come to, is that the one stop is probably not the way you want to go in an MR car. It's just too hard to try and get a reasonable stint out the soft tyres. And to be perfectly honest with you, you've probably been better off on a set of mediums for that second stint. And I don't think a set of hards would have been too far off doing the similar kind of stint, if you like, over 7 laps. So let's take a little look at an FR car. We're in the BMW M6. Obviously the tyre wear works a little bit differently on FR cars. It's usually a bit more even, and it tends to be the front tyres that suffer the most, or certainly the handling of the car suffers the most on the front, so you start to get some understeer as the tyres wear out. So you can see we've done 4 laps there on these set of soft tyres with the full fuel. We managed to keep the lap times pretty decent, and at that point it looked like perhaps an FR car could consider the one stopper, But as we come to the end of lap 7, just look at that tyre wear now. Lap times have dropped off massively, and as we come across the line here, a 1 minute 50, we've got a full 4.5 seconds slower than our best lap. So FR cars might just be able to make the one stop work a little bit better than the MR cars, but for me this one is a clear 2-stopper. When it was all said and done, in the McLaren, the 2-stopper working out 9 seconds quicker than the 1-stopper. So a significant difference. So for this one, I really do think it's a 2-stopper for just about everyone. FR cars, the gap would probably be a little bit less, probably in the region of maybe about 5 to 7 seconds. But I still think the 2-stopper is the way to go for the FR cars as well. The only reason I could see maybe trying to do a 1-stopper with the FR cars, if you qualify at the back, you could start on the hard tyres, and hopefully with a lot of maybe squabbling going on amongst the cars in front of you, you could hold on and maybe eke them out to laps 7 and 8 and then pit for a set of softs. That's the only way I can see a 1-stopper being useful. So that's the conclusions for this one. No fuel saving, 2 pit stops. Obviously where you qualify is probably going to dictate how you run that 2-stopper. Whether you want to start the hard tyres, do maybe 4 laps and then 2 stints of 5 laps in the softs after that. It's going to be up to yourself, but certainly don't try the 1-stop. I just don't think it's worth the while. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that one. Thanks very much for watching. I hope there's been some useful information here. I've had to sort of rush this one together a little bit, so I do apologise if the quality is not quite as good. But we had to get out before the rounds actually started. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye now.